Welcome to the Business Badass Revolution. I'm your host, Pat Honiotes. We're here to talk about doing business from the inside out because being an entrepreneur shouldn't suck. Remember, business badasses are made, not born. Welcome to the show. It's going to be one of those days. They're already picking on me.
It's all good.
Hi, Pat Honeyhood's Business from the Inside Out, but this is the Business Badass Revolution podcast. And my producer's being a little difficult this morning, so giving me a hard time behind the camera. And that's why we kind of came on giggling this morning. My guest, Douglas. Say your last name for me.
Berger.
I was afraid that I was going to mispronounce it and maybe anyway.
Well, it's like hamburger, but it's spelled with an E. It's German.
Okay, well, that's what I needed to hear. Like I said, I was afraid it would had some different fancy spelling.
No, some people say Berger. Or
yeah, there you go. All right.
But
so Douglas Berger, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you got it. We're going to have some fun here, I think.
Cool. I like it.
One of the things that I wanted to talk to you about, I know that, and you'll get a chance to explain that to my audience later. One of the things that what you do for a living is you sell businesses for people.
Correct.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
And in order to sell those businesses, there's times that you need to coach the owners.
Sure.
There's times that you need to coach the buyers on what's going on here.
Correct.
When I first started talking to you, I was hoping that you were more of a traditional business coach, because I've actually had some of those coaches refuse to come on the program because I think it can be a both.
Yeah. Inside
and outside. So I got me in middle of the rotor, and I think that works very well. Cool. But you can at least give.
Well, I'll take their seat anytime.
No, I don't think you want that. But anyway, but you.
I'm in on the show. I'll take all the publicity I can get.
All right. All right. Just as long as it's good. Although people say just as long as it's publicity, it doesn't matter, right?
Yep.
So what I'm really interested in starting out with, Douglas, is standard business coaching. Mm-hmm. And I was going to say versus business from the inside out, but it's not a versus for me. When I talk about it, it's more of standard business coaching plus business Correct. From the inside out. And one of the ways we had started talking was you were talking about company culture.
Correct.
Going, yes, that's what we need to get into. So tell us a little bit about where you're coming from when you're talking about company culture. I believe the word you used for me was culture from the top down.
Absolutely. So culture from the top down. It's got to start at the top from leadership. You can't expect what of others if you don't do the same. So one of my favorite two things I used to tell myself and then others is, first of all, you have to be present, right? You got to show up, but the next level is you have to be engaged, right? And one of the ways that you're engaged is you have to have open door policy. You have to expect more out of yourself than anybody else, right? And you have to lead with empathy. And I think everybody is motivated differently. So you can't just have a one blanket motivational speech for each one of your employees or anybody else that you live or work with, period. So I think it's unique in itself with that.
It is. It is. I've had some traditional business coaches tell me they didn't give a rat's behind if the person had all of that. They just wanted to do what they were supposed to do.
There's definitely a place for process, right? And then if it's high production and fast food restaurant, right? Here's the dotted line that you got to follow, walk this path, and
got it.
But in our lives, it's not that black and white.
So what I do then, because I'm right on board with you with the company culture from the top down. And so where I start with people then is with the big kahuna and what I call the inside culture. Okay. How they're wired, what their patterns are, what their habits are.
Right.
Because bottom line, that's going to influence company culture.
Yes.
Okay. I also, I know this for a fact because I've run into it 100% of the time, is that every single person I've worked with has a subconscious wound-driven belief about themselves that's absolutely untrue. And I can see where people are very successful. They go, they go, they go, and they've still got that wound.
Yeah.
All right. And they're going to run into it at some point.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing is I've worked with some very successful people that don't even seem to run into that wound, right? Until they want more. By the way, that's another whole topic. And then what's stopping them? I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing that. And that's when we go inside.
Cool.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So how do you see those two philosophies working together? I've been accused of you just don't like business coaches. I love business coaches because I can't do what you guys do.
Yeah.
And I want my people to have that.
Yeah, they can be successful in their own way. They could have a nice little niche that they fill,
Yep.
right? Or
so how do you
compatible.
see the 2 points of view working together, Douglas?
So we did talk about this before. So I look at, I mean, you could talk about emotional intelligence, right? But also the key word, like you said, was hardwired. There's this amazing personality assessment. We talked about it, DISC assessment, or there's probably plenty of others too that really can open your eyes so you can look at yourself clearer through the mirror, right? With a clean mirror and not so foggy. And it helps you see how you are hardwired, right? What the personality section that you're in. And then more importantly, you can have that same assessment with a coworker, a friend, a subordinate, a leader, and then learn how to communicate better with those traits that you have. And that's happened to me. I mean, I had a boss back in the day that we just kept butting heads all the time. And then we both took that assessment. And then all of a sudden we knew we could communicate better. It wasn't like absolutely perfect, but it was 10 times better. So yeah, being in touch with that for sure can help.
So here's the thing. That's intellectual.
Yep.
You're doing that all on a conscious level. It makes sense. It's logical. What I'm saying is there's something even underneath that assessment isn't going to tell you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. That's the thing I go after.
Yeah. I probably need some help finding that too.
You want to play for a minute?
Sure.
I won't take you all the way because it can get deep.
It's going to hypnotize me and maybe run around here naked or something.
No. Look deep into my eyes. You don't smoke. You're a fish and fish don't smoke, right? You just thought, what made you say that? What thought went through your head?
I don't know. I'd like to know.
Well, no, when you just said that about maybe I need some help with that.
I always self-reflect. I'd like to find out more, right? And see where I can become better. And
well, I tell you, go to this thing right here. We'll give that to you later. But what's something you run into in your business that is a challenge at times? Something like procrastination or overwhelm or a pattern or a habit that you have that you would like to mitigate?
So I've kind of fought through those battles already. So I see them when they come. Like procrastinate, I don't do that anymore. I have very good habits. I can have moments of being overwhelmed, but I know how to get over those.
Okay, so
pretty
what's
quickly.
The butt kicker then? What's the butt kicker? What's kicking your bum?
Right now?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the challenges of starting a new business, for one.
Well, no, it's one thing.
That's keeping me from doing more.
Doing what you want. What's the thing that you run into?
I don't know.
Finding challenging.
I might need some guidance there.
Okay, then I'm gonna stop because I can't guide you to what's challenging you. What I can do is tell me what's challenging you, and we can guide you through that.
Right.
But it's and you're really good at the self-reflection. Okay. So take some time to do that, and we'll go after this again. But it's a matter of you saying, hey, Pat, I cannot give a pitch to save my soul.
Gotcha.
All right. You can say, I don't care what I do. I'm always in overwhelm. It can be something as personal. And all of this affects your business, as you know, but it's also not a conscious thing, because on a conscious level, you know what to do.
Yeah.
Stop procrastinating.
Yeah.
Right?
So maybe the biggest challenge right now that I've seen when it comes to the business side, right, the startup that we have going on, is transitioning a lead to a prospect from getting a phone call from somebody and then getting that listing appointment and then converting that listing appointment into an actual listing
So
contract.
what's your success rate with that?
So, I mean, it's probably above average because
Now give me a number, dude.
the lead conversion, well, the lead volume is very nominal, like maybe 3 to 5 phone calls a month.
Okay.
Right. And then lead conversion, I probably will see 1 or 2 of those, and I wouldn't even say one of them would be a contract.
I get
Right.
it.
So
I
the
get it.
percentages, when you look at a sales process and metrics and all that, it's very well aligned and even higher than the normal performance would be.
Okay.
However, it doesn't make me more successful. If I have a small bucket to play with, I still need to capitalize on it. And I think the biggest place I have been stuck is getting from that phone call, getting to the face-to-face.
And
Because
what's
once I'm
stopping you?
faced,
All right, phone call to face-to-face.
Right.
What's stopping you?
so something either I'm saying or not saying on the phone properly.
All right, you're doing the intellectual thing here, and that's fine. I want you to go there. If someone came to you with that problem, what would you say? Jesus, Douglas, getting from that phone call to that face-to-face is just kicking my butt. What are you going to say to them?
Well, take me back to the conversation that you're having with the person, right? And make sure you're going through the proper steps of the process,
Okay.
right? So the first would be proper introductions, right? Cordial but professional, and then building rapport,
Okay.
right?
So you've got this solid. You've got
Right.
this solid. But there's a reason why they're not converting.
Right.
Okay. And it's something subconscious with you, probably. Now, we can't go into that right now, all
Okay.
right? Because that's, I do a whole hour and a half on that.
Okay.
But the thing is it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It doesn't mean you have to go take another course or another assessment
Read
or
another
any
book.
of that. No, because that's not it. Because where it is in your subconscious.
Cool.
And I have people say to me, well, if it's subconscious, how do I know what it is? Well, that's what we do.
Right.
And we can do that in about an hour and a half. And then it's about supporting you to get you through that.
Sweet. Sign me up. Let's go.
Well, all righty. This interview is not going the way I expected. All right. Katie, you can come on in if you'd like. We had another person that sometimes she actually helps me in my show. And so was coming in just to watch and take notes and that kind of thing. So we were talking about a number of things, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. And we got off the thing of, quotes, normal standardized business coaching and coaching from business from the inside out. But then we got interested in where you're at and some of the things that you're dealing with. And you really have quite a bit under control. You do. You're no slump. You're no chump.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Well, you're not. All right. But here's the thing is you want more is what I heard.
Always want more.
All right. Thank you for saying that. Do you know how much I have to convince people that it's okay to want more? People go, well, that's just being selfish, or I'm just, horse pucky.
It actually stresses me sometimes. I want so much. I'm like,
Douglas, okay.
When does it stop?
Who says it has to stop?
Exactly. Who
and
knows?
The thing is
I'm not upset about it, but I'm like, man, when do I want to stop? At some point.
It doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't
Probably
matter.
never.
Right? No, probably never.
Just get used to
and
it.
That's okay. You know what? I'm 78 years old and I'm still going for more.
There you
See
go.
there? Anyway. Now, based on what we were talking about before, you would handle someone, phone call to face, you would tell them the step to take, all of that. It's intellectual. It's logical. It's in you. That's great.
Right.
But if they're still not doing it, that's not helping them.
Right.
And that's when I would come in and we'd do a little bit of work. And what we do is find out why you don't want that face-to-face. Now you're going to look at me and on a conscious level, you're going to say, man, I want it face-to-face. What are you talking about, woman? Here's the thing is on a conscious level, you do, but subconsciously, there's a reason that you don't, or you don't.
There's a mental block somewhere in there.
Yeah. There's a belief you have in there, or there's There's a thought that you have that's playing that stops you from it, that stops you from really carrying it to that extreme.
Cool.
All right. Now you don't know what that is.
Right.
And since you don't know what it is, you can't do anything about it.
Right.
So that impacts your business, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
It impacts every call you make because you're wondering, well, is this going to be the one? All right. So if we could go back and we could find out what that belief is that you're carrying around, then you can work on it. Then you can do something about it. And for me, that's the biggest difference between what I do and what someone like yourself or even more traditionally does.
Yeah.
And that was the whole idea behind this particular meeting. And we got off track and I love it, is we're still talking about the inside culture.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you do when your people aren't listening to you?
Well, what I'd like to do.
No. I want to know what you'd like to do is another whole show.
Well, I guess that goes way back to even old school salesmanship there, right? You intake it, you take it in, you breathe for a second, and you reiterate it.
Yes.
Right. So you start there and then make sure you're clear with communication. And do I hear you correctly? Is this what you're saying? And,
okay. All
and
right.
then try to review it and then find out why do you feel that way? And, maybe the old feel, felt, found
I hear
closing
you. I got it.
scenario.
Okay. So you finished a phone call. I'm going to go. This sounds disjointed, but it's not. We're flipping back and forth here. You finish this phone call. What is going through your head? Is it about getting a face-to-face or I didn't get a face-to-face? How does that work?
Yeah, I'd like to get that phone call into a face-to-face.
What stops you from doing that? Do you know?
No.
Good. That's the first step. Okay. Because come on, you're pretty good at what you do. You know all the steps. You know how to teach people to take those steps.
Right.
The thing is, I don't want to take this too far on air. Okay. That's not fair to you. If you knew, what would that do for you?
I mean, it would be a multiple, right? So first of all, you would have performance, right? Conversion.
Go up. Yep.
You'd have more self-awareness, and everything would probably increase self-confidence
and face-to-faces.
Yeah. And more face-to-faces. Right.
And that's what you're really going for.
Correct.
Why? What do face-to-faces lead to?
Well, that's when you build. So that's when you build a relationship. That's where you build the
and
trust.
And you build a relationship. And what does that lead to, Douglas?
Business. It leads to everything.
Yeah,
family, friends, business.
Well,
everything.
and bottom line.
And bottom line.
And what's the more you would get out of that? You said that you always want more. Thank you. What's
everything.
The more would you get? Well, I'll be a little bit more
it's
specific.
Like that old AT&T commercial. I want more, I want more, I want more.
Exactly.
Right. All of it. And I think most of it is I don't want to say success and it be related to money, right? Because I'm not money motivated at all, but better, right? I want to make sure I'm doing better. I want to make sure I'm doing the best I can because
and
it's
sometimes
important
it takes
to me.
money to do that.
Correct. Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so
now,
you've got a hand
I'm not afraid of money. I'll take it. Right. And I know my worth, but that's not my motivation. My motivation is to make sure I get the job done and I do it right. And then get paid.
Okay. This is kind of fun. I hope people are interested in this because I'm walking that fine line between going for it and keeping everything on a level that's okay to put out there.
Well, we can keep it suspenseful for another time.
Yes. All right. So when I'm working with a person, I'm going to change gears on you here because I'm getting too fast. I'm going down rabbit holes with the other stuff. Okay.
Squirrel.
There you go. Squirrel. Bunny rabbit. Bird. Don't mind me. I'm on a tangent. Just forget it.
It's all good.
So here's when I would refer to you. And even if a person doesn't want to sell their business, I think you could probably work with them to help them in their own business. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Are you open to that?
Yes.
Okay. So I would refer one of my clients to you when they've pretty much worked out the why behind it, but they don't know the how. I only know some of the how, and I don't like dealing with it, so I'm going to leave that.
Yeah.
So it's that when somebody wants to know how, then
Yeah.
I'm going to refer them to you.
Perfect.
Now, what's the how that you teach them that's strictly on that side of the coin, Douglas?
So it can be customizable. It depends on where they are in their journey of their ownership of their business, right? It could start with evaluation, right?
Okay.
What's your business worth? I don't know. Well, here we go. Let's figure it out. And to get to that point, you got to have a lot of stuff, right? You got to have a lot of things so we can calculate that valuation. It's just not like, hey, let's have a 10-minute conversation and here you go. It's
What if they just want some help with strategy to begin with?
sure.
Is that where, or do you always start with evaluation? What if they're not interested in selling?
No, it seems like the valuation is the topic for a lead in for being a business broker selling businesses.
Yeah.
Right. But from the different perspective of coaching businesses, right, it could be sales process.
Okay.
It could be SOPs, standard
Okay.
operating procedures, right? It could be a review
Okay.
of metrics, right? What are your
Okay.
goals, right? It could be KPIs. So
Okay.
some of those things can already be standardized for an industry or something that they can make up internally, almost like a business plan, but it needs to be evolving
get
and
it.
grows with the
I get it.
business.
And I think you said before, all of this can be individualized.
Absolutely.
For example, what works for Trent probably wouldn't work for me.
Right. And the first thing I find out is your baseline. Where are you
Okay.
at?
Yep.
Right. You
Yep.
just can't automatically jump to where this other person might be. And even though it's a similar industry, it's like
Got
you
it.
just can't skip a stage or two. Right. We want to make sure that you're stable and getting on the right track. And so you don't fall backwards.
Oh, yeah. And if they fall backwards, send them back to me because that means they were triggered.
Right.
No, this is
and all those different stages,
Yes.
they could still may need to come back to you.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You can have a different roadblock at any time. Right.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I start out my coaching with what I call a leadership PhD. And in
Cool.
that first session, we come up with the wound-driven belief. We come up with marketing words. We come up with gifts. I call it the gift that keeps on giving. Because I've worked with people and 5-6 years later, they come back and say, okay, Pat. And we go right back to the one we did 5 years earlier. And guess what? The answer's there. So
Yeah.
all right. So if I want someone to just have a step-by-step, you're the man to send them
Sure.
to. Okay.
Yeah. I've been in business development my whole entire life, it feels like.
Do you have a book?
I do not. I attempted to write sales books and whatever, short stories and whatever else you want to call it, but I never put enough time into it.
I'm just thinking about a step-by-step.
There you go.
Just a workbook.
Yeah, actually, I have wrote sales training manuals, right? So the sales process, especially in the, power sports where I recently came from. So yeah, there's definitely that part. And that's something I could implement, help someone develop and implement in their business as a sales process.
All right. So, all right. Now let's turn the tables again. You're working with somebody. When would you say, whoa, wait a minute, time out. You need to do some work from the inside out. I want you to go see Pat. What would be happening or what behaviors would you be seeing that as a business coach, you don't really want to deal with?
Maybe just accomplishing simple tasks. Right. So, I mean, how many times we try to coach somebody and you're from one week to the next and
they're not doing it.
Yeah. It's like, where's this and where's this? It's not hard. What's keeping you from doing that? That might be the perfect opportunity because they could have that subconscious blockage that they don't even know. And then what's even more with a lot of people is they don't want to or they can't tell you.
No, exactly.
Right.
And that's like we were talking about earlier, you can't tell me what the real problem is with you, but we can find out.
Right.
Okay. All right. That was good.
Cool.
Okay.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Anything else you want to say about this? I'm loving this because I think we're I think we're exactly the same, only different, if that makes, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to say about this, about the differences or the sameness?
I think maybe just the openness and the willingness to try, to look for something different.
Yeah.
You know, the alternative perspective is like my favorite internal saying.
Okay.
I
Okay.
want a different viewpoint, right? Because I learn so much more when I see a different perspective and then going to why.
Yeah.
Right. How do they come with that conclusion? Right. Where do they get that viewpoint? Right. So that's very intriguing to me.
Well, it helps that you're so open. Okay. I wish we all were more open, because I know there's times I can get closed down around my point of view as well.
Yeah, it can be detrimental sometimes being honest and transparent and open.
Well,
But
and it has come back to bite me, but you know what? I don't care. You
at
know,
least we know where we stand.
you got it.
Right.
You got
didn't
it.
have to go through all that time and trial and everything. Then to find out later, this is where you are. It's like, hey, just tell me up front. We're good.
Yep. Yep. I hear you. I hear you. We could talk for hours
Yes, we
about
could.
this. We could go on and on and on. We're not going to do that. However, what I would like you to do is just take a couple of minutes and tell us how to get a hold of you, what you're interested in people contacting you for, and how to do that.
Yeah. So obviously we're on Facebook. We have LinkedIn page. We have website. So it's Trans World Business Advisors Murfreesboro.
Trans World Business Advisors Murfreesboro.
Yep,
Okay.
Go tworld.com/Murfreesboro.
Okay.
And I'm all over it. Facebook, the same thing, where you can find me, Douglas Berger, Berger. And then my local cell number is 615-560-1219. Email is dberger@tworld.com. Pretty easy. But then the social media and stuff's easy to find. We follow and involved with the chamber, right? Main Street downtown, with Smyrna Rotary, also in the local BNI too. So we're plugged into all those different
good.
Community involved,
All right.
establishments too.
All right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I got to tell you, Murfreesboro has been a blessing for us.
They're good folks here, aren't they?
We're so happy to be here and so welcoming. We can't be happier.
I hear you.
It's only been 90 days.
Yeah, I've only been here a little over a year, so I'm kind of a newbie too. We get it.
So there we go.
Thank you so much. Thank you for just the discussion back and forth, and thank you. This was fun for me.
I appreciate it.
This was fun.
Me too.
I will see y'all next week on Business Badass Revolution. Bye for now.
Cool.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Business Badass Revolution. Remember, as you're walking through your work week, being an entrepreneur shouldn't suck. Remember to like, share, follow, and subscribe. And oh, by the way, leave us a 5-star review. See you next time.